Ralph Lindeman, thanks for taking the time. Another outstanding job at the Drake Relays this past week, finishing fourth. You've done that before, but that's the highest ever.
Yeah, we were thrilled with our performances. So their scoring just takes into account the relay events, and we had some really good showings. We didn't win a relay for the first time in several years, but we had 2 seconds and a third and a couple fourths and fifths and sixths, and we just had a really good showing around, all across the table. But for the first time in a number of years, we brought field eventers to the Drake Relays, and they were excited to be there. Our whole team was excited to be there. They seem to love us at Drake Relays, whether it's the fans, which were about half of a stadium full because of COVID, but their staff certainly and their officials are all thanking our kids for coming, and make our kids feel really, really special. But we had a great meet, and our field eventers in particularly really shone. Ari Martinez, 3rd place in the high jump. In the collegiate high jump, outstanding job for her. Best ever outdoors, 5.7 3/4. She continues to be just so consistent, jumping in the 5.7, 5.8 range. Katie Thompson, our wonder freshman, she's from Lincoln, Nebraska. Her family was there, and she takes 5th in the long jump at 19.2 3/4, and the wind was just a little bit over the allowable. It was 2.3 meters per second, so it won't count as a school record, although it would have smashed it. And but she had a great series of jumps in the 19-foot range, and she's headed for a couple barriers. We hope in the coming weeks, maybe the 20-foot barrier and the 6-meter barrier, which is 19.8. So she's exciting every week. And then she ran a PR in the hurdles at 14.56, which was a legal win, number 6 all time for us. So some great performances there. Over on the men's side, we had 2 throwers that were just outstanding. Hayden Bullock, who's our men's field event athlete of the week, throws 180 feet 9. That is the 5th farthest in Air Force Academy history, a sophomore record. Finished real well, in the Drake field. And then another fellow sophomore, Jarrett Preet, threw 191 in the hammer, and he continues to improve week to week. So those field eventers really loved it. We had good weather at Drake, relatively speaking. Those of our alums that might be watching remember a Drake Relays experience where it was rainy and cold, and so we had a pretty nice 3 days there. Our distance runners especially stood out, and certainly our highlight of the meet were our 2 1,500-meter runners. On the women's side, Mihaela Norris ran the open 15, also anchored our distance medley relay, which was 4th, and but she ran a PR by 3 seconds, 4:15.98, number 2 all time at the Air Force Academy. So that was special. And then in the men's 1,500, the very next race on the track, Sam Gilman smashes the school record, 3:40.39, finishes 3rd in a very elite field. A couple of the better guys in the country, were just ahead of them, but 3:40.39 school record. So to put it in perspective, for those of us that think miles, that's about a 3:57 miles. So that's outstanding. Both our distance medleys ran really well. The women's were 4th. We ran Rebecca Wusinich, who had a good double there. She's a freshman. She may be the next in a line of really good female distance runners for us. We ran Michelle Roca, Jr. in the 400, our school record holder in 400 hurdles. Britt O'Connell in the 800, and then Mihaela anchoring, did an outstanding job against the likes of Oklahoma State and Iowa State, and to finish 4th in that race was outstanding. And then our men were 2nd in that race to Iowa State, and led off by Cole Lindhorst, better known as a 1,500-meter runner, and our miler that became our first miler to break 4 minutes indoors. He ran the 1,200, and Luke Zuluaga, senior, mainstay on our relays, sprinter, ran the 400, and then Garrett Blankish, who's been just a huge surprise the last several weeks, a junior that's just been working so hard, ran the 800 for the 2nd day in a row. He ran on our 4x8 the day before and did a great job, and then Sam Gilman brings it home. And I think he was a little spent from the previous night's effort, and but he did a great job, and so to finish second in that DMR distance medley was just awesome. So really good Drake relays, and gives us. I always tell our team when we go to Drake relays, it's not about the times and distances, it's about competing with people. And so 3 weeks before the conference meet, it puts us in a good frame of mind. We're competing no matter what the weather, what the winds. They learn some good lessons. There's some good takeaways from the Drake relays. And this week we go out to Fresno for the West Coast relays. We're going to bring 48 athletes out there, a little lower than our normal travel squad that were allowed, but just for COVID reasons and so on. And we're taking people that we think have a shot at being at the Mountain West Conference at the same site. We're going to stay in the same hotel, get the same bus company that we're going to do 2 weeks later for the Mountain West. So when we get to the Mountain West, we'll be able to say, hey, we've been here before. And it'll be a good meet for us. It's on this Friday, April 30. So kind of nice to get home on a Saturday and have a Sunday off for once. So.
That's for sure. Are you seeing what you want to see? 3 weeks out from the Mountain West Championship?
We are. We're improving from week to week. We're getting over some of these silly injuries that we've had. Somebody getting spiked, somebody dropping a bench on their, calf. And we're getting past some of those things. Each week we're getting a little more full strength. And so we're excited as we build to the conference meet. And we're excited, by the way, a week from Friday when we host our only home meet. We're very excited about that, hoping we get some good weather for it. We're going to allow spectators. And at the conclusion of the meet, we're going to have a senior recognition ceremony and present our seniors, make a real special presentation for them. They deserve it after what they've been through.
That is for sure. Coming down to the wire. Ralph, thanks for the time. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks, Brian.